Welcome back, guys. Alexa, trigger live show. Well, apparently that's gonna work. Messing around in the lab tonight, nothing too crazy. I tried out a new Wi-Fi enabled outlet, and I have to say, this thing has been bloody amazing. Really impressed with it. So you guys will see a video upcoming on the channel. Cheers, Vicky. And I thought tonight would be a wonderful time to get some work done. Well, I don't know how much work I'm going to get done, to be totally honest. But I have a new bin for some parts, and I thought, if you guys haven't already seen them, I have lots and lots of bins of goodies where I store all my random stuff. Kurt! Cheers, Kurt! Strange Beacons, Kurt is here. Check out Strange Beacons on YouTube for Kurt's channel, if you guys haven't already. I thought maybe what I would do is make a new bin strictly for the Raspberry Pis. And, well, since I have some extra space, I'm thinking to reorganize. I'm going to do all my power stuff in one bin and, well, random sensors in another. And I think, I don't know. I really have no idea how we're going to work this out, but I'm going to take all these Raspberry Pis that I have, old school Pi here, this is like Model A, and then I have brand new ones, and the SD cards and stuff. There simply isn't enough room in one bin to put them all, so I'm going to move them around a little bit. I don't think I'll leave this video up after as public, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What I want is large-scale microcontrollers in their own bin of goodies, so I can just go get a Pi or power supply and stuff for the Pis all in kind of one-stop shop. So right now they're kind of messed in with everything else. Pi hat, handy. We'll put that in there. And I have no idea. We've got programmers, we've got Arduinos mixed in, just way too much stuff. 363RS, what's up? Cheers, life is 8. Hi. Well, hello to you too. Welcome, guys. This is a very impromptu, just goofing around, messing around in the lab live stream. And I have no real schedule other than just to reorganize some stuff. And then I have the new, oh, this is actually pretty cool. I have the brand new Raspberry Pi Zeros, which is really handy thing to have, and I haven't used them yet, but the idea is when we have a small project to do with robotics and stuff, we're going to use those. So I think the Raspberry Pi Zeros should have their own bin here, which you can see in the lower right corner. And then I think we'll set up this corner up here to do for power control for the Pis. So we have power supply modules, just PSUs, nothing crazy. Raspberry Pi camera modules. Ooh. I think I'm gonna have a hard time deciding what I'm gonna do here because now I have all kinds of room. I think we'll do, let's move some bins so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, this is going to be fun because I'm going to be able to do Arduinos and everything separately. I think this is going to work out really good. Maybe it won't. Alright, power supply, top corner. That'd be a good place to hide those out. So these bins are just from my local hardware store. You can find them in the description below on Amazon, which is pretty handy for everybody. I think, and then we can turn this bin into strictly Arduino stuff, I think, instead of a mishmash of sensors and everything. I have no clue what I'm going to do here. I think we can break this apart even better. We can do the Raspberry Pi Zeros in this bottom corner. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You guys just speak out if you got any ideas of how to organize this stuff. Because underneath all of this mess up in the corner, we have USB, power, and a whole rat's nest of stuff that really became unmanageable as time went on. Ooh. Jeez. Should we leave that all on its own? Should we actually do a bin just to USBs and power management? I think we finally can. I think so. These are JST connectors and JST cables for just about any project we come up with later on. How can we organize this? The long and the short of it is we want to, you know, you can get pills for that obsession. Cheers, Julian. Yes, it is an absolute obsession. But now I have room and I can expand. Ooh, I think we'll keep this strictly for Pis. I think we should do that. I think we should do multiple separate ones. So on the right here will be the Arduino stuff, and on the left, on the overhead, you can see it will be just Pi stuff. Because how can we do this? How can we do this? Because then we've got all the Wi-Fi enabled microcontrollers here, and they're truthfully expanding a lot. I really like the Wi-Fi enabled micros, and I think I would almost be tempted to do their own tray of goodies. God, how are we going to do this? This is just, Well, I guess we can start with the USBs and see. Buck converters for lithium polymer batteries down to USB, which is like uber handy. How can we do that? Maybe it would be best if I grab one of the other trays out and complicate things even worse, which you can only see on the overhead. Hello, dog. The Doge is here. We can see what the overflow bin has been. Where? This one. Yeah, let's do this. So I've got power control and sensors mixed into one, and it's drove me nuts forever. So let's move. Yeah. Let's do power control, relays and stuff all in with not the Raspberry Pis. Let's do power control in with their own bin. We're just going to swap the whole bin. Yeah, I think I got the idea now. I got an idea. Let's do micros and Pis mixed together. Let's do, so I've got Arduino Nanos and Pro Minis and FTDI programmers all kind of jumbled together here. But if we kind of lump them together in with, if we lump micros and Pis together, that'll make more logical sense. And then do the power supply separate with the rest. Thanks for the campaign shout out. New rig on the way. Cheers, Julian. Kurt had to go. Cheers, Kurt. Well, glad you could stop by. Yeah, I got it. No worries. Tech Mason is here. You mentioned a Wi-Fi enabled outlet at the beginning. What was it? I sure did. Tech Mason, I have to talk to you. I have to talk to you about something offline, actually. You won something, but you don't know it yet. Nobody does. I haven't published many videos. But anyway, back to your question. The Wi-Fi enabled outlet. Let's switch camera angles. Let's go back to main. That'll work. It's the eTech City Wi-Fi enabled outlet that's working fantastic with the Amazon Alexa, the Echo Dots that I have. I'm pretty impressed with it. So far, so good. No issues. But I think they're $25 Canadian on Amazon to buy. This was sponsored to me and sent for a review, and I don't like the fact that you have to have a standalone app to run it, and you'll see that on the upcoming video, but almost all of them truly do need a standalone app now, and it's only for setup. After that, once it's set up, it works fantastic. And anyway, eTech City, you'll see upcoming video, but yeah, we should talk offline too. And I've been on the Sonoffs with Tasmoda firmware, and they're the bomb. Well, yours will likely be even better because you probably don't need custom. Well, with the Sonoffs, you don't need any kind of crazy standalone apps or anything. So, all right, back to the business at hand, or the failure of the business at hand. Let's put the Wi-Fi enabled micros in there, and let's keep this related to power. I have no idea. These are all boost converters, buck converters, and stuff like that. So let's keep those with the power stuff. I think that will make logical sense. These will not make logical sense. I have shields for the different Arduinos, for the Arduino Nano, for the Unos and stuff. They take up a lot of space, but I think they would be best to include in with the microcontrollers themselves. I think that would be best. I don't know. What do you guys think? And then I have Ethernet shields and stuff. God, where do you start to even put half of this crap? It's fantastic. Zach's here. Cheers, Zach. Good to have you, buddy. Paul's here. Cheers, Paul. So I have way too many kind of really specific shields. So these are shields for the Uno. I think we should try and keep those with the micros. And, well, and the Pis and everything else. How can we do this? How can we do this? I think we can do this. I don't really want to move the Pi power supplies out of, away from the Pis, because it's handy to be able to just grab those. But stuff like this, the NRF modules, 24L001, is that the correct naming convention? And then I've got HC12s and 433 megahertz transmitters. Where do you draw the line? Wireless communication versus micros. Should we keep those separate? I have no idea. I have no clue. And then I have the one off camera here. I think we should try and keep at least the shields together, or what used to be called shields. This is another breakout for, this is for an Uno, so we'll keep that in there too, seeing as how we've got multiple Uno shields in there, or hats, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, it is an obsession, no question. Good to see you too, Zach. Glad you could get here. Paul asks, how do you get your Raspberry Pi 3 to work? I have no issues with Raspberry Pi 3s. I have several running in my house right now. I have one running my interface in the studio room, and I have multiple others doing kind of random jobs. And yeah, I don't know what you mean, how do I get them to work? They just generally work for the most part. So here's another Pi. Jeez, go looking and you find another one. So the Pi bin is full. Power stuff. Yeah, power stuff. Microcontrollers, sensors, way over here, and then the other bin down here, down below, that one is my oldest bin, and it is mostly sensors and oh, yet another Arduino, but the breadboards and stuff and all the jumper wires. This is kind of the go-to bin for getting the project started, and then I have LCD displays up there. And I like having the LCD displays and the breadboards kind of living in the same home. I don't know whether it makes logical sense yet, because truthfully I don't know. I hate having, what I've got is this whole bin over here of just power supplies for the Pis taking up. How can we do this a lot better? So I've got the Arduinos, ESP8266 Wi-Fi boards. This is the Wemos D1 boards. I love these. I'm using them a lot lately. They are working bloody fantastic. But I don't want to waste an entire bin just for a few power supplies here. We need to do this better. But well, here. We can do this. There. We can cram some power bricks in there. That's the problem with the power supplies. They take up so much space until you actually put them in use, and well, then they're gone. But we can cram those in there for now. We have 2 spares, which is handy because we have 2 spare Raspberry Pi 3s. One of these I would like to do a Pi hole project for ad blocking, and then, not that I'm a fan of, not that I'm condoning ad blocking, but then the other one I would like to set up as a decoder for the Meteor Russian weather satellite decoding, in which case they're both going to leave this case like in a week or two, but we'll see. Catch up on the chat. We're all going to tap billions when IoT fully comes into operation. True enough, Paul. DNA, Paul. I am downloading software. Yeah, I don't know how to help you, Paul. Focus on IoT because your bank account will become very healthy. True enough. How do you store resistors? Well, for me, I have, for non-SMD resistors, I just have them in a drawer right here, and I have them in each kind of stuck together paper thing, and they're labeled by value. So the most common one that I'm using lately is stuck right on top at 15 ohm. I have no idea why that is. I don't even remember what project that was. But yeah, I just stick them in there. For SMD stuff, they're in a completely different storage. And then for electrolytic caps, I have, yeah, right beside it, because those are the most common stuff. Generally, you don't end up replacing resistors, you end up replacing caps. And I don't even, should I show you guys the caps? My replacement caps need to be filed. These are my electrolytic caps, just by the buttload, stuffed in an envelope, off to the side, and when I need them I go sort through, which is just about every consumer electronics failure. Julian got a head out for Winter Field Day. Awesome to catch a live, so cheers, Julian. I'm glad you could. Tech Reviewer 44, I love your vids. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, guys. If you guys don't mind, click a thumbs up on this video right down below. It really, really helps the channel. And Eugenio is new to this. Well, welcome. Glad you could join. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. One of the problems with corded headsets. Okay. Where was I? 37 years experience in SCADA. You monitor people or machines anywhere in the world and detect issues before a major event issue happens. Yeah, well, I work in the world of industrial wind turbines, and my specialty is controller software. So the realm of SCADA is very, very familiar to me as well. It is a, well, it's a very, very common field. Alright, so we've got Arduino, another Arduino. We've got the Megas. Oh, yeah. We've got more. So, the Megas need a home. This has been a problem before. So the Megas, I think we're going to put them up there, and then I'm going to go digging off camera here, because I have, well, here, I'll show you. Up here, I have the recent mailbag items that I have not even begun to file yet, some of which are the Arduino Mega shields, or, well, shields for the Arduino, and I have tons and tons of them. Now, some are going to get put into service pretty quickly for the robotics project, but here's another Arduino Mega 2560. These are, it's the same, it's a Uno on, or a Nano on steroids. It just gives you a whole bunch of more I/O, except you also have 2 extra hardware serials and the ability to do much more software serial too. So I think those need their own home. And this is where it gets tricky, because then we have more USB cables. So I think we'll keep them separate. Geez, I don't even know, guys. And then I have Arduino Mega 2560 acrylic cases. Really cool little transparent case. Again, eBay specials. You can find these. All this stuff is on my store, linked below, store.makeme.org. Pretty much anytime I use a component more than once in a project, I add it to the store pretty quickly, because, well, I know you guys are going to want it at some point. in time if it's a half decent, reasonable component. Alright, we've got more JST connectors, so they can live in the JST bin over here with relays and solid state relays. I think that makes logical sense. Maybe. But then, actually, I have another idea. We still have to make room for power stuff. I have lithium ion 18650 cells to deal with, and we're going to use these in a lot more projects coming up. We're going to power a lot of the ESP8266 projects with these with some voltage regulators, so we might as well start a bin for those, and things like these wonderful little screw terminals, which I absolutely love. And yet more JST connectors, which are really, really handy for datacom and stuff because they come with the female and the male. So you can just set up your own little data buses and whatnot, like link your boards together and stuff for your custom made boards. Ricky, yes, I am just organizing my stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am going through sensors and random stuff, and that's pretty much what the title of the video should be, actually. Last I checked. More relays. These are fresh. You'll see them in a mailbag coming up. And these are pretty much the same as these. They're a 10 amp relay, except they don't come on a daughter board with the opto isolators and stuff. So they're more for like proper circuits that I make, like PCBs and whatnot, with more custom design circuits. This is another Arduino Mega case, so it should live in the microcontroller bin. I think the idea here will be at some point to be able to just go into these bins and get what I'm after. But Maddie's here. Cheers, Maddie. Good to see you. 3 amp current sensors. Now, I didn't really sort out what we're going to do with the sensors and stuff, but being as how they're a power related sensor, I think they should live in the power box, in power control and monitoring, with our boost and buck converters in the bottom. Yeah, I think they should live there anyway, at least for the interim. We'll stuff them there. Maybe they should be moved into breadboards and whatnot. I don't know. You guys let me know. Let me know what you think. So I have more. We have some rain sensors, precipitation sensors. This will be used on the Mars rover project, and I think they should live down here in this random sensors box for now. Actually, no. Change of plans. They're going to go in the far one that we're slowly emptying out, which I didn't even show you. I have muscle sensors, EMG sensors, temperature sensors, lots of really cool waterproof temperature sensors and stuff like that. I think they should live over there. I think that would make more sense. And then we'll slowly take things out of that box at some point. Check this out. Look at this monster. This is really cool. You're going to see this on a mailbag coming up. This is a Arduino Mega shield with all screw terminals. I know you can't see them, and I'm not going to take them out because they're going to fall all over the place, but they're all individual screw terminals, and so it's significantly bigger, and it sits right on the Mega, and every single wire that you can put into a Mega can be adapted into a screw terminal, which makes it really good for a stationary project. So that's going to be pretty fun. We'll put that in with the Arduino Megas. That'll make sense. Any ESP32 dev boards? No, I don't have any ESP32s, but I do have, if we go digging, I'm pretty sure. So I have the ESP8266 on the Wemos D1s. I have more Wemos D1s. I have the standard ESP8266 Wi-Fi's. And oh, look at that, under there we found another Arduino Uno. That doesn't belong in there. And then CC3000 breakout. Ooh, God, that's old. I don't even want to look at that. But yeah, none of those. Just 8266s so far, which I'm really, really happy with. I love the Wemos D1 Minis. I'm really a huge fan of them now. They just seem to work for me. I don't know. In the process of moving my Megas and ESP8266 code over to the ESP32. Yeah, a lot of people are heading that way because of the power of the ESP32. Like, no denying, it's going to be awesome. But from what I have seen, the library support seems to be a tiny bit lacking so far. Maybe that's what you're working on. Alright, so what else we got? We have 30 amp current sensors. So I think they should live in the box on the right here, where all of our power related items are. I think that makes sense to keep current sensors in with that, because we already started that way. We have some HCSR04 distance sensors. I've used these on my little Arduino robot. Pretty handy stuff. They should live in the random sense box over to the end where all of the EMG and muscle sensors and all that kind of crap lives. And MQ4 gas sensors, I haven't even used an MQ4. I've used the MQ2 and the MQ3, and we're going to give these a try in an upcoming project. And this is an antenna for the HC12 wireless module, which is buried in somewhere in with all the other Wi-Fi stuff. I think we're finally getting there, though. It's starting to make logical sense to me. So I have some. These are just a buck converter and USB connection for putting an 18650 cell into for a USB power supply. They're just the case. You have to put your own cell in, which we have the cells here and all the power stuff. So I think they should live right there with the 18650. So we're going to do some 18650 power testing too soon, I think. Cheers, Maddie. Yeah, it has been a while. Man, Eric, you could make a cool robot with that. Cheers, Eugenio. Yes. If you haven't seen it, well, here it is. Here's one. Here's my very first venture into Arduino. This was like fresh out of the box. I got this Sane Smart robot kit and messed around with it and put a HCSR04 distance measuring. It's got an Arduino Mega and a shield, and I also added a Bluetooth module here. And I messed around with that for ages, and I learned more from this silly little robot than pretty much any other project that I've ever played with. And I keep it in this condition because I can just add on another sensor and just play with it, and it still works. And you can find the code on my GitHub. It works really good. I have an autonomous mode and a semi-autonomous mode, and then a full remote control mode. So in semi-autonomous, like, you can still control it, but it's smart enough to use the distance sensors to not crash into things, which is pretty cool. It'll make some decisions, and in fully autonomous, it'll just drive around all on its own, which is like pure foolishness, because, well, it just drives around and just does its own thing. So yeah, it's fun to build robots. It's fun to build just about anything, and having the parts and components on hand to be able to do it is key. Truly key. We missed one. We have the Heike 960 single board computer, which should really live with the Raspberry Pis and stuff like that. But we are already out of space in the Raspberry Pi bin, even though we just started it. So, how can we make some room? Easily. Done. I think this makes logical sense now. So all of my microcontrollers are now in one bin, and related shields. And then in this bin, I have power, PCB type power related things like the screw terminals and stuff, all the JST connectors and stuff, which I'm going to have to find a way to cram them all in there. The power itself from the batteries, the power control from the relays, current sensors for monitoring the current, which you're going to see on the upcoming big Raspberry Pi robot, because we have to monitor the current from the drive wheels and stuff. And then all the different buck boost converters that I have here, tons of them. I didn't pull them out. You guys didn't see this. These are all different variations of buck and boost converters. Pretty much anything I can power, including, what have we got here? 1.5 amp. LT805 voltage regulators, you name it, all kinds of power control, which is super, super handy. So when it comes to powering a project, I think I can go to this bin, maybe. I think this makes sense. And then all we have to do is sort out this random bin of sensors, and then this random bin of sensors over here. And for now, I think we have most things semi more organized than what they were. Maybe. At least when I go to build a project, I'll have some logical semblance of where the components are living and be able to grab them. Maybe. Catch up on the chat real quick. If you like the ESP8266, you will love the ESP32s. I think I will. You should look into making your own in-move robot. You'll find use for these components. Maddie, it's in the other room. If you go back on my channel, you will find I already built the in-move arm 4 years ago, maybe even 5 now, and I linked it to my brain using the using a brainwave sensor from the MindFlex Duo headset, and made the in-move arm move according to my brainwaves. So yeah, I already have one. I printed one out. I'd love to make one with a gas sensor, keep in the kitchen, gas leaks. Yeah, for sure. Cheers, guys. I think that's it for now. I think we now have at least 3 of the bins something more organized than what they were. At least I can start to build some projects and at least be able to find the components when I need them. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. If you have any different ideas on your parts organization, I am all ears. It's one of the more difficult things when you start to get a lot of components right down to random voltage regulators, random MOSFETs. We didn't even get into RFID readers. There's actually none of this belongs in the power control. We need to do a little bit of work. I've got multiple RFID readers. PC Arduino, that should live with the major microcontrollers, I think. Jeepers. Wireless video. Really random. Oh, electric imp. I posted it right in the chat at the beginning, but I used one of these electric imps. It's over way off camera. In the background right there is one of these hooked to a thermal printer, and if you go to mkme.org/imp, you can actually send a message on that right now, and it'll print out to me as we're sitting here. But it's a simple little Wi-Fi micro, predates the ESP8266 and runs the code on their servers, which is really, really cool. It just runs an interface program and you host the code on their servers, and that comes with the price of buying one. Now, admittedly, it's more money than ESP8266, but this is what all the Budweiser red lights, if you've seen them, or well, not the cups, but the red light that flashes when the hockey game scores or whatever, that's what they're running on, and it's pretty cool. And it's really, really easy to hook to serial and hook to an Adafruit 3D printer, thermal printer. Neat little Wi-Fi micro. It's a different way of doing things considering they host the code, but lipos and boost converters. This is the Adafruit. Oh, geez, I don't even remember the name of this. You guys point it out to me if you remember the name of this awesome, awesome boost converter that they have from a single cell lipo up to USB. Works fantastic. Just all kinds of random stuff, but that should live in the power control. Yeah, definitely got to get the RFID reading stuff out of there. I did a cool project a while back where I read some hotel key cards, and I actually scrapped the video because I didn't want to get into all the nastiness that goes with it, but I was able to dump the info from 2 European hotel key cards when I was traveling on business, no problem, and clone them. It's not that hard. For those ones anyway. Other ones, yeah, it's really hard, but light blue bean, little Bluetooth microcontroller. Hackaday was pushing these pretty hard a few years ago. I got it for free when I was a Hackaday finalist and winner of Hackaday prize stuff. So yeah, tons and tons of stuff. Looks like you're doing a good job. Yep, thanks, Eugenio. I appreciate it. If you guys have got any ideas or anything, I am always all ears. It's always just, I don't know, it's just fun to just try and make things work. Whatever works best for your head is the key, to be able to find the components when you need them. And I hate spending time looking for stuff. I want to be able to, like, I have the components here to build, like, not anything, but most cool projects. Like down here in the bottom in this is my oldest bin. I have everything from potentiometers to, I have tons and tons of rotary encoders and all the LCDs and everything. There's not many Arduino or ESP8266 or Raspberry Pi or whatever projects that I can't whip up the night that I think of it. It's very rare that I'm going to run into a component loss, and I'm there at that point finally now with just 4 bins of goodies. But the problem is just finding them and knowing what you have. As time goes on, it's pretty easy to forget what you have in these bins, and then you miss out on the opportunity to make something cool. So I think we're going to leave it at that, guys. Let me know what you think. Click a thumbs up on this video if you like this stuff. I know this is pretty random just watching me sift through parts, but for all the electronics OCD people out there, maybe you like that. It was fun hanging out with you guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow, and good luck in all your projects. Cheers, guys.